Please like and subscribe this channel to get you latest video lessons in music, arts, physical education and health grade 10. Are you ready? Before you listen to this video lesson on music, arts, physical education and health grade 10 week 2, bring out the things you need like your book and module in week 3 first quarter, and listen carefully to this video lesson. Grade 10, week 3, day 1, most essential learning competency, music, music of the 20th century, explains the performance, practice, setting, composition, role of composer/performer and audience of 20th century music. Code MU10 Civ G4. Please listen to the discussion and the activity follows. A lot of outstanding composers of the 20th century each made their own distinctive mark on the contemporary classical music styles that developed. Claude Debussy and Maurice Ravel were the primary exponents of Impressionism, while Arnold Schoenberg was the primary exponent of Expressionism, with the use of the 12-tone scale and atonality that makes some audience hard to understand its music. Bela Bartok was a neoclassical, modern nationalist, and a primitivist composer, who adopted Hungarian folk themes to introduce rhythms with changing meters and heavy syncopation. Igor Stravinsky was also an expressionist and a neoclassical composer. He incorporated nationalistic elements in his music, known for his skillful handling of materials and his rhythmic inventiveness. As 20th century purchased lots of new technology, some musical composer makes use of it and take it as advantage. A French composer, Edgar Varese, is known as father of electronic music that uses electronic devices and instrument in creating music. Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, who experimented electronic music in Musik Concrete and introduced the rich musical potential of modern technology. John Cage. John Cage is a 20th century conceptual artist who famously composed the piano piece titled 433 inches, 1952, which consists of the pianist sitting at a piano and not playing for exactly 4 minutes and 33 seconds. He continued to experiment and push the boundaries of music and embarked on a career of what he called an exploration of non-intention. Activity 1. Now you know. Direction: give a brief answer in the following questions based on what you know about the 20th century music. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. What group of people inspired of many of Bartok's composition? What kind of musical style is attributed to Schoenberg and Stravinsky? Who is considered the foremost impressionist? Who was the French composer known as the father of electronic music? Who composed an experimental helicopter string quartet played inside 4 different helicopters? Activity 2. Experimentation with the sounds of 20th century music system. Chance music. Put small items inside a bag. Include coins, pins, small bells, and other articles with percussive sounds. Pour the bag's contents on a hard surface and record the sounds that are produced with a cell phone or other available device. Put the items back in the bag and unload the same while once again recording the sounds being produced. Note the changes between the 2 sets of sounds recorded. Electronic music. Create short electronic music pieces using your knowledge of 20th century musical styles. Check yourself. Complete the diagram, put a brief information or facts, and composers on the following boxes. First quarter, week 3 day 2, explains the role and function of artworks by evaluating their utilization and combination of art elements and principles. A10PL LH1, reflects on and derive the mood, idea, or message from selected artwork. A10PL LH2, uses artworks to derive the tradition/history of the various art movements. A10PL LH3, Arts 10, Abstractionism, Cubism, and Futurism. Abstract art is a vague term which covers painting and sculptures which depicts unrecognizable objects or scenes, thus, it has no clear or specific definition. The basic idea of abstraction is that the formal qualities of a painting is just as important as its meaning. In the past, the outside world is reflected through works of art. Natural appearances became irrelevant in the abstractionism of the 20th century. Artists simplified scenes into geometrical shapes, patterns, lines, angles, textures and swirls of color. The end products vary from depiction of still recognizable subjects called representational abstractionism to art with no recognizable subjects discerned called pure abstractionism. Abstractionism is the theory that the mind obtains some or all of its concepts by abstracting them from concepts it already has, or from experience. The abstractionist movement arose from the intellectual points of view in the 20th century. In the world of science, physics were formulating a new view of the universe, which resulted in the concept of spacetime and relativity. This intellectualism was reflected even in art. While expressionism was emotional, abstractionism was logical and rational. It involves analyzing, detaching, selecting and simplifying. Georges Braque was a major 20th century French painter, collagist, draftsman, printmaker and sculptor. His most important contributions to the history of art were in his alliance with Fauvism from 1905, and the role he played in the development of cubism. Braque's work between 1908 and 1912 is closely associated with that of his colleague Pablo Picasso. Their respective cubist works were indistinguishable for many years, yet the quiet nature of Braque was partially eclipsed by the fame and notoriety of Picasso. Glass on a table. In this painting of a glass in pairs on a table, these different perspectives might appear to obscure the subject matter, but Braque believed that by breaking up familiar items and reordering them, he could get closer to a true likeness of the object. The cubist style derived its name from the cube, a three-dimensional geometric figure composed of strictly measured lines, planes, and angles. Cubist artworks were, therefore, a play of planes and angles on a flat surface. Foremost among the cubists was Spanish painter/sculptor Pablo Picasso, right, in earlier styles. Subjects were depicted in a three-dimensional manner, formed by light and shadow. In contrast, the cubists analyzed their subjects' basic geometrical forms, and broke them up into the series of planes. Then, they reassembled these planes, tilting and interlocking them in different ways. They admired the motion, force, speed, and strength of mechanical forms. Illustration from left to right. Three musicians, Pablo Picasso, 1921, oil on canvas. Girl before a mirror, detail. Pablo Picasso, 1932, oil on canvas. Armored train Gino Severini, 1915, oil on canvas. Act 1. Create a cubist artwork, Week 3 and 4. Review the description of Picasso's cubist style. Based on this, plan a cubist artwork. Prepare a magazine, assorted photographs, one sheet of Oslo paper, scissors, and glue or paste. Select a large photograph from the magazine and or other photos, and cut these into segments of different shapes and sizes. Maybe it is better you assign a theme or topic for their artwork. Act 1. Create a cubist artwork, Week 3 and 4. Glue or paste all the segments on the Oslo paper, slightly misaligned and with small gaps if you wish, but with the image still recognizable. Give your cubist artwork a title, show your artworks to your family member or post it on your Facebook wall. Let them give their personal reactions or comments to work. Act 1. Create a cubist artwork, Week 3 and 4. Now, what shapes do you see in that image? You should be seeing some triangles for its ears, a large circle for its head, circles for its eyes, rectangles for legs, ovals for feet, etc. Here is a rough computer gesture of the shapes the students will be doing in their artwork. Rubrics for abstract artwork. Understanding the concept of art is 10 points. Developing craft is 10 points. Envisioning is 10 points. Engage and persist is 10 points. Stretch and explore is 10 points. All in all 50 points. P. Physical activity and physical fitness assessment. First quarter, grade 10P, week 3 day 3. Engages in moderate to vigorous physical activities for at least 60 minutes a day in and out of school. Code, PE10PF pound each 45. Assess physical activities and eating habits. Code, PE10PF pound each 48. Express a sense of purpose and belongingness by participating in physical activity related community services and programs. Code, PE10PF pound each 48. Common badminton injuries, preventions and remedies. Common injuries of people playing badminton: rotator cuff injury, tennis elbow injury, patella tendinitis, sprained ankle, Achilles tendinitis, and their prevention and remedies. To prevent any accidents during sport activities, one should learn to stretch, hydrate, and very important is to gear up proper attire in playing any sport. Table tennis injuries, tennis elbow, muscle pain or strain, ankle or wrist pain, shoulder pain. In preventing table tennis injuries, the same with badminton or any other sport, always do stretching and gear up to avoid untoward incidents. Always be hydrated and strengthen your body cope up with the strenuous demand of a particular sport. When your body doesn't get the nutrients it needs, your immune system becomes weak and your risk of illness goes up. Because food is the body's fuel, proper nutrition leads to better performance. Provide your body with the right nutrients, and you'll be rewarded with higher energy, more muscle and faster recovery. Direction for health activity. Write the nutritional food in our plate diagram, which is suited for an active individual like you. What kind of fruit do you like? What type of grains should be eaten to give us ample energy? Do we need to eat vegetable? If yes, what vegetables should we eat? We all know that proteins build muscles. What protein-rich foods should we eat? What dairy products must one consume in order to achieve proper nutrition as an active individual? Nutrition can help enhance athletic performance. An active lifestyle and exercise routine, along with eating well, is the best way to stay healthy. Eating a good diet can help provide the energy you need to finish a race, or just enjoy a casual sport or activity. You are more likely to be tired and perform poorly during sports when you do not get enough calories, carbohydrates, fluids, iron, vitamins, and other minerals. Protein. Week 3 day 4, first quarter, health, hands off quack. The doctor is in, selects the health professionals, specialists, and healthcare services wisely. Code, H10CHLC22, report fraudulent health services. Code, H10CHLC24. Healthcare professionals, individuals that are licensed to practice medicine and other allied programs. An example is a physician. A physician records the medical history of individuals, provides diagnoses, performs medical examinations, and prescribes medication. There are different types of physicians based on their field of specialization. A cardiologist is a doctor with special training and skill in finding, treating and preventing diseases of the heart and blood vessels. A dermatologist is a doctor who specializes in conditions involving the skin, hair, and nails. A dermatologist can identify and treat more than 3,000 conditions. These conditions include eczema, psoriasis, and skin cancer, among many others. The skin is an incredible organ. A gastroenterologist is an expert in digestive health and issues related to the stomach, intestines, and bowels, but also includes a few other organs related to the entire digestive tract. A lot happens between the time food enters your mouth until it is excreted from your body as waste. Geriatrician is a doctor who specializes in care of the elderly and the diseases that affect them. The approach tends to be holistic and involves a multidisciplinary team. The geriatrician concentrates on managing the medical conditions affecting the patient. Gynecologists are doctors who specialize in women's health, with a focus on the female reproductive system. They deal with a wide range of issues, including obstetrics, or pregnancy and childbirth, menstruation and fertility issues, sexually transmitted infections, STIs, hormone disorders, and others. A doctor who specializes in neurology is called a neurologist. The neurologist treats disorders that affect the brain, spinal cord, and nerves, such as cerebrovascular disease, such as stroke, demyelinating diseases of the central nervous system, such as multiple sclerosis. Orthopedist, a physician who corrects congenital or functional abnormalities of the bones with surgery, casting, and bracing. Orthopedists also treat injuries to the bones, sometimes spelled orthopedist. An ophthalmologist diagnoses and treats all eye diseases, performs eye surgery and prescribes and fits eyeglasses and contact lenses to correct vision problems. An ophthalmologist is a medical or osteopathic doctor who specializes in eye and vision care. A pediatrician is a medical doctor who manages the physical, behavioral, and mental care for children from birth until age 18. A pediatrician is trained to diagnose and treat a broad range of childhood illnesses, from minor health problems to serious diseases. A pulmonologist is a physician who specializes in the respiratory system, from the windpipe to the lungs, if your complaint involves the lungs or any part of the respiratory system. A pulmonologist is the doc you want to solve the problem. Pulmonology is a medical field of study within internal medicine. Urologists diagnose and treat diseases of the urinary tract in both men and women. They also diagnose and treat anything involving the reproductive tract in men. In some cases, they may perform surgery. For example, they may remove cancer or open a blockage in the urinary tract. 3 forms of quackery are: medical quackery includes cures, treatments, and remedies of various health conditions that are drugless or bloodless. Nutrition quackery involves the promotion of food fads and other nutritional practices that claim to be all natural. These are believed to have beneficial properties of multiple plants in one product. Device quackery makes use of miraculous gadgets, such as dials, gauges, electrodes, magnets, and blinkers, that are believed to cure certain health conditions. Directions match the type of physician with the area of specialization below: cardiologist, orthopedist, dermatologist, ophthalmologist, gastroenterologist, pediatrician, geriatrician, pulmonologist, gynecologist, urologist, neurologist. Remember to always answer the reflections at the end of each module. Tell about your hardships when answering the module. How did you feel when answering? What are the hindrances in answering your modules? Simply tell what you have learned. Always see the rainbow behind the dark clouds. Always think of happy thoughts.